Hello everyone, my name is Sophie and welcome back to another episode of the Bookhater Club podcast. If you're watching this as it comes out, I have disappeared for 100 days. And if you're watching this anytime after that, then I'm back. No problem. I know that you guys have been needing me and my reviews, so I return. And there's been a bunch of news in the book community, and of course everyone is shivering and wondering, what does Sophie, honestly Sophie, think about no, I can't stop thinking about her. Sarah J. Maas announcing 2 new books / it's almost 3, and that's it. I don't know if there's been any more news, actually. That's the only news that I know I haven't talked about yet. I do also want to talk about aster though, because she's my favorite topic at the moment and my hyperfixation, if you will. If you want to hear my thoughts and prayers on either of those, you can skip forward. I'll put the timestamps in the description. But before I talk about book-related things, I'm going to talk about myself, which is also book-related, but because this is my channel and I review books. But since I disappeared, I was swallowed by the ground for 100 days, I do want to make a little bit of a life update. It's nothing big, so I just didn't feel like posting. But I'm just gonna update you on what I've been up to, so if you don't want to hear that, you can skip it. I'm not mad. So I uploaded the Bonds of Hercules review this year in January, and that was the first and last video I posted all year up until my last video, which was the aster Starsight review. And on my app I can see how long it's been. It says 111 days and 22 hours. So I did make a comeback with the aster video, but it was over 100 days that I didn't post, and I bet everyone was shivering and shaking and everything, sweating maybe too. I generally just didn't have time to read and I didn't want to read, and then I didn't post. And then once I would get out of the loop of making content, I don't have the energy to get back into it. I always say in my reviews and in my podcast that I'm genuinely such a lazy person, and I hope you believe me now. If you didn't believe me before, I was just too lazy to do it. I think it's especially hard because my content is so dependent on me reading books, and when I have so many things going on, at the end of the day I don't want to sit down and read a book. I just want to go to bed. And arguably not that many people were crying out for my return, I have to say. I didn't really get any messages about my return and asking where I was, maybe 2 or 3, so that didn't really motivate me. No, I'm just kidding. I was very, appreciative, but my heart was warming at all of the comments under the Starsight review of people saying, I was just thinking of you today. Well, you manifested me coming back. It was you. And everyone else, you all with your manifestation powers collectively brought me back. I could feel it, that you needed my aster review. And you can let me know if you thought about me, and if you thought that I would make a return on aster. If you knew that book was coming out and you were like, oh, she's gonna post a video. But of course, it took me like a month to make the review, so maybe you were also shaking in your boots a little bit that I wasn't gonna come back. At first you thought I was gonna come back, but then it was like a month of nothing after the release, and then I did come back, so that was a surprise. Okay. No, but I can promise you guys that if either aster or Sarah J. Maas publish a book and I haven't posted in whatever amounts of time, could even be longer than those 5 months or 4 months it was, I will come back. If either of those bitches publish a book, I'll come back. No matter what I'm doing. So what was I doing in the last few months? Of course, you know, I started my master's degree, and starting January, where I posted the last video, my exams were starting up until the middle of February. So I just didn't have time, and I didn't feel like it. And honestly, Sophie, I had a lot of studying to do, and it's always been hard for me to study because I don't really know how to study. And I had one exam that was considered like the hard exam of the master's degree, whatever, and I did pass it. Just so everyone calm down, I did pass it, but everything just takes so much more effort, and I don't really know why the professors do this, but they just expect you to have like infinite amount of time to do whatever project and do like 3 side things that also get graded, and it's just a lot more than your bachelor's where you were doing 1 exam at the end of the semester, it was done. Now they want like a bunch of different things all of the time. And I'm also working part-time on the side as a working student is what it's called in Germany. I don't know if that's a term anywhere else. Germans always put it in on their LinkedIn and stuff, working student. But I don't know if anyone from any other country actually knows what that means. It's kind of like the term home office. In Germany, when you're working from home, you don't say I'm working from home, you say I'm doing home office, which means you're working from home. But if I were to use that term in America, they would be like, what the fuck do you mean home office? But, you know, that's just the Germans. They say home office. They don't even say the German. They don't say Hausbüro. They say home office. Yeah. And that was the first time where I was working a job like that while also going to uni, because before that I was just working like mini jobs. So it was definitely a challenge keeping up with everything that was going on. And then I also wanted to have a life. And I just didn't want to fucking read. I just didn't want to read. I'm sorry, I didn't want to read. So after that was done in February, I started my second semester, which I'm still currently in, and exams are coming up, so I'll disappear soon again. I'm kidding. I'm gonna try not to. I do want to review Sarah J. Maas's books, of course, so I have to stay consistent. So I make a lot of money. There's a rule if you are a working student, and I think this is for most companies, you work 20 hours a week, and once you don't have any lectures between semesters, you are allowed to go up to 40 hours a week and work full-time. And the Bedingung, what is that in English again? The one requirement that has to be met is the fact that you don't have any lectures at the time. It's between semesters. Then you're allowed to go up to 40 hours. And so that's what I was doing in March. Yeah, we're coming closer to my return. I was just working full-time, even less motivation to read. And then beginning of April, my semester started and I decided to go on vacation. I went to Istanbul. I did. That was my boyfriend's and I's big vacation this year. We went to Istanbul and we had a very nice time there, and it was really beautiful, and I would love to go back sometime. I mean, I just went there, but like in the future I could definitely see myself going back. I really enjoyed my time there. My boyfriend fell ill on one of the days that we were there. I think we were there for 7 or 6 or 7 days, and one day kind of fell away because he fell sick. He got poisoned. Someone poisoned him. And then I didn't do anything because what am I supposed to do alone? It was kind of boring, so I just went and looked at some cats. But other than that, it was great. And I really liked it. And I looked at all of the moths, and I looked at all of the cats, and I ate a lot of food, and that was that. And I really liked it. I would like to return, and I would recommend it for people to go visit there. It's a very lively city, very fun, especially because I found one shirt that I really wanted to buy, and my boyfriend said it's a size too small, and I shouldn't have trusted him. I thought it was fine. No, it was a size too big, and he was like, let's get it in a smaller size, and it was from the store De Facto, which is a very big store in Turkey, or I don't know if it's anywhere else. It's not in Germany, that's all I know. It was the first time I heard of it. It's kind of like a mix out of H&M and Zara, I would say. And there was one striped shirt that I really wanted. He said it's a size too big. Let's go to one of the other 50 de factos in Istanbul and see if we can get it a size smaller. And then I never saw the shirt again. Never saw the shirt again. But the reason I'm telling you this is because the shops were open. The de factos were open until 3 a.m. What the fuck? Who needs a shirt at 3 a.m.? Well, I did, but I couldn't find it. So I didn't buy the shirt. Then we returned to Germany, and then we had like a few days to settle, to change our clothes. And then we went to Cologne for 3 days, and we went and saw 5 Seconds of Summer. I don't know if I ever lore dropped this, but I was a huge One Direction fan when I was younger, during the Take Me Home era. And that was when 5 Seconds of Summer was opening for them. And that's when I became a huge 5 Seconds of Summer stan, when I was 11 or 12 or 13 or however old I was. Then I kind of stopped being so obsessed with One Direction, and it diverted onto my 5 Seconds of Summer obsession. And then that also just kind of fell away like after Youngblood, maybe even before. I never went to a One Direction concert, and it truly is one of the biggest regrets I have in my life, and I hate my parents for it. They know this. They just never wanted to take me. They never wanted to take me. They never came close enough to where I live, where they would have been down to go, if that makes sense. Like where they were playing, it was always too far away, and they didn't want to take a 12-year-old to the concert then. And since, the concert isn't happening, when I saw that the 5 Seconds of Summer tickets were going on sale, think it was last year, I had to buy them. I didn't have any money at the time. I had to buy them, I had to purchase them. I don't even know how I knew this, but at this point, like, I hadn't even been listening to them, you know? I hadn't listened to any of the solo stuff, nothing. Like, after Youngblood, between Youngblood and Everyone's a Star, which is their newest album, nothing. Nothing. That's a lie. I knew some of the songs from their newer albums, but I really wasn't keeping up with them, so I have no idea. I don't remember how I knew they were going on tour, but I remember how I was purchasing. I'm telling you the whole story because I'm so excited about it. It was such a great concert. I want to kiss Luke Hemmings so bad. I remember I was in uni with my friend, and I was like, oh my god, 5 Seconds of Summer tickets went on sale, and she was like, who's that again? I was like an hour or two late after they went on sale, and I looked at the different locations they were playing, and I would have wanted to either go to Cologne or to Munich, and I think in Munich there were still some available, but I really wanted to go to Cologne because it's just closer. And I went on there and there were still some tickets available, but they kept going away quickly. You know how when you're on Ticketmaster you refresh and there's like one single seat but it's immediately gone again, even hours after release. And however I did it, I don't know, but I did manage to refresh so many times that I got 2 seating tickets. And then I bought them, and then I took my boyfriend with me, and he was my plus one because no one else listens to 5 Seconds of Summer. But he liked it. He doesn't know any of their music. He said he liked it even though he doesn't know any of their music, and he thought it was fun. I did cry during Amnesia, and I think it's valid, honestly. You have to imagine I was listening to them before they released their first album, and I remember like looking up the best, cleanest version of their live performance with the least amount of screaming from, I don't know if you can see my bottle, sorry, stay hydrated. The least amount of screams from fans in the audience so you could hear it. And then I remember they played Voodoo Doll for the first time, which they played on tour. They played Voodoo Doll for the first time, and everyone was freaking out, like trying to figure out what they were saying and trying to figure out the lyrics because we didn't have an album yet and everything. So that's how far back it goes. And even though I didn't stay as dedicated and as loyal as a fan as maybe I should have, I really love the new album, and I listen to it routinely now, and it was an amazing concert. It was really fun, very high energy, and I had a really good time, and I really love Luke Hemmings. Still. Sorry to my boyfriend, sorry to my man. But after the concert, we didn't have time to stop. We're now, I don't even know when the concert was. I think the 11th of April. And then we stayed until the 13th. And then we went home. And then we were home for an entire day on Thursday. And on Friday, we left to Berlin to, I don't really know what we did there, if I'm being honest. We were in Berlin for 5 days. For 4 or 5 days, and we met up with some friends of my boyfriend's who study with him, and I know all of them, and we had a great time, but I don't really know what we did. It was just kind of like a get-together in Berlin. Well, we did this in Berlin, why not? I have to say, I don't know where the Germans who are watching me are watching from, but Berlin is really not my city. I don't fuck with Berlin. The only other time I've been was when I was 18. So that was a few years ago. But the city is just not my vibe at all. I just don't know why, I just don't connect with it. I much prefer either Munich or Cologne. Hamburg is not in the talks even. What the fuck's going on over there? Sorry. Love you. But then it didn't stop because we were going to the Tame Impala concert in Frankfurt. We got back home, I was working, I was studying, I was planning my return. I read Alex Aster's book in the meantime throughout all of this because it came out like the 31st of March. I have to say I did read another book before that one, which was, and I can tell you if you're watching my yapping part, you deserve to know, Haley Pham's book, Just Friends, her romance book. Yeah, I did read it, so you'll get a review on that. But it's been a few weeks, so let's see how much I remember. It wasn't good. I mean, who would have expected? So that might be the next review because I don't have anything else that I'm currently reading. So if you have any suggestions, comment them down below. I got some suggestions on Instagram also where I asked, which we will talk about Instagram in a second. 1 second. But my boyfriend and I went to the Tame Impala concert in Frankfurt. Every time I tell someone that we were going to see Tame Impala, they didn't know who that was. Nobody knows who Tame Impala is in Germany. Which contradicts itself because the concert was full. I couldn't see a thing. For some reason, we bought standing tickets, which I think is GA, general admission in English. Like, you're just standing. I fucking hated that. Every man above 6 feet was standing in front of me. I couldn't see a thing. I did not see Tame Impala once the entire night. It was really hot, it was really sweaty, and it was just not a good experience. But the concert was great otherwise. Singing, the performance was great, I bet. I couldn't see it. And then I came back and I edited the video for Starside. I filmed it, I edited it, and I uploaded it. That's the order of things. There were some complications, and also you have to imagine, like, the video's an hour 45. How much footage I had recorded, it was like close to 3 hours. So it takes me accordingly to edit that video. I don't really know why it got that long. I think it could have been shorter. I kind of skimmed through it after I uploaded it. I don't like watching my own videos because I've looked at myself enough. I don't need to see more of me. I know how I can listen to myself. And then, of course, I noticed the focus. I don't know how to fix it. I hope it's fine now. I'm trying a different angle to see because I kept focusing on the sign in the back. But I also noticed that I could have cut out like some more pauses and stuff. But then I just get lazy again when I'm editing. I'm like, oh my god, girl, get to the fucking point. Then I'm in a fight with myself. I'm at war with myself. But you guys seem to like it, so it's fine. While I was in Frankfurt, I also saw Mormons in Uniqlo. I thought that would be a detail that you guys would appreciate. We were in Frankfurt a little bit before the concert started, just so we could do shopping. We didn't buy anything, but we were in Uniqlo, and the first thing I saw was the name tag, and I was like, Sister Sarah. I told my boyfriend, Mormonen. And he said, oh my god, like Ruby Frankie? I said, yes, like, because I showed him the documentary. I said, yes. Are they allowed to shop? I don't know what they were doing there. I always thought that they would only come here if they were on a mission, and then they would just be working the entire time. I didn't know they get to shop and have fun. And also they looked really young, and they weren't wearing all of these cute dresses, because I get a lot of Mormons on my TikTok because, you know, I think it's really interesting, but I also think that there's something wrong. There's something wrong with Joseph. On TikTok they're always like, and I complain about this again, whenever they get their mission letter, they read out the entire fucking letter. You're being called to serve the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And then they say at the end where they're going. Just say where you're going. Like, you don't need to read the whole fucking letter. We know what it says. Just tell me where you're going. So overall, I did enjoy seeing the Mormons. But then again, it was a surreal moment. And I'm a little upset they didn't try to Mormonize me. Or however you say, I don't really know. Now, let's talk about Instagram. I asked on Instagram some recommendations of you guys what to read next. If there's anything in particular, you can also comment down below. I don't know if there's any new releases or any popular books that I haven't read yet. Of course, I've been thinking about reading Heated Rivalry, but I can't pronounce rivalry because I'm German, so I don't know if I should do that because that would just be embarrassing. Of course, I did watch Heated Rivalry and love Connor's story. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, that's all. So then I posted the story, and then I also posted a comeback post on Instagram. I think Instagram's kind of dead. I have to say there's nothing going on. I barely use Instagram privately, so that's why there's nothing coming from my side. Nothing else from my side. I have nothing to say. But I did want to make a comeback post of all of the events that I just told you about and show you guys some impressions of my last few months. And the post was up for 30 minutes and I got 2 likes, and one of those was me. So I deleted it. I don't know if I'm shadow banned. I don't know what that even means. But my story also didn't get any views for like the first 15 minutes, except for one. And that kind of confused me. I was a little bit embarrassed, so I deleted it. Let's see when I'll try again. I don't know how to remove the ban. What did I do? So let's talk about Sarah J. Maas and her new books that she's bringing out. Of course, everyone knows at this point. She talked about them, or she announced them, is a better word, on Call Her Daddy, which is a podcast that I do not consume because I just don't want to. Also, I have to say, and I mean this with peace and love, Sarah J. Maas, her voice is so annoying for me. I can't listen to her. Some people think my voice is annoying, and that's fine, you don't have to listen, but that's also like another reason why I didn't watch the podcast. So she dropped the bomb in saying that there's going to be 2 books And one of the books is the size of 2 books, so in total it would be 3 books under the guise of 2 books. Did that make sense? First one is coming out in October of 2026, and the second one is coming out January 2027, so it's a very quick turnover, and I think it was the second one in January that is supposed to be longer. They're both in the ACOTAR world, and when I heard that she's releasing not 1 book but 2, I will start rubbing my hands like a fly. Because yes, I'm gonna read them. And yes, I'm gonna take paid time off, PTO. So you can get the review on, if the book is coming out October 27th, you can get the review October 28th, October 26th, roll it back. Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarak releases are always prime time on the Honestly Sophie channel. And speaking of Rebecca Yarak, she's also publishing a new book in October, and that book, she's releasing a new book in general, which is a rom-com or whatever, but she's also releasing a new Empyrean novel, which is in the Fourth Wing world, and people found it online, and she said it's not a new novel, it's something else. I don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know if there's been speculation. I don't know. I don't read that. It's Fourth Wing speculations are a little bit too crazy for me. So we will see what that release is. I'm curious. I don't know. Is it maybe like a novella? No, she says it's not a book. So maybe it's like a... Yeah, I have no idea. Actually, I don't even want to think about it. Matter of fact, but if it's something that's readable and reviewable, you'll get it from me, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll be right here. So what is my thoughts on Sarah J. Maas releasing a new ACOTAR book? I actually just got the Snapchat flashback yesterday or 2 days ago of when I received Echo War, which was the 3rd ACOTAR book, in the mail 9 years ago, with my fake press-on nails from Primark on that were matte. Yeah, I'm so excited for it and reading it and hating on it. As everybody knows, I was a very big Echo fan, and I wanted to be with Cassian. Actually, I didn't want it to be with Reese. And then I read the Nesta book, and I you know, just everything changed. But of course, I'm excited regardless, because it's a feast for me. And let me know what you think it's gonna be and who it's gonna be about. Did she say that? I have no idea because I didn't watch the podcast. I think people are speculating it's going to be about Elaine, and to be honest, like, I don't really care. Maybe people were correct when she posted the picture of finishing the draft of ACOTAR 6, and there was like something drawn next to it, and everyone said it's an arrow or it's a 2-8. Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe it was. I don't really have anything else to say about it. I keep feeling like I need to talk more about it, but genuinely, what should I say about it? Yeah, I'll read it. Yeah, I'll read it and I'll review it as ASAP. You know it. Of course, I'm curious to know all of you guys' thoughts on Alex Aster. I just want to make clear again, because I feel like people think that I'm like obsessively stalking her. The only thing I do is watch her Instagram stories, and she posts a lot of Instagram stories, and she doesn't really wipe her camera before taking them, so they're sometimes a little bit blurry. And she shares a lot of content through Instagram stories, and she's very active there, and she's just active on social media in general. So that's all I do. All I do is watch that and listen to her answer the same questions over and over again. And interestingly enough, she talked today in her Instagram story with her blurry camera about the adaptation for Starside, and she talks so slowly. Like, she talks very slowly, and I hate when people talk slowly. I'm like, I want to finish your sentence for you. Just finish your fucking sentence. She talked about the fact that there has been no adaptation or rights sold for Starside yet, and she wants to find the right people for it, and she knows it's so important to find the right people for it. And then she also spoke about the other 2 adaptations, so Lightlark and her romance novel, that she had a lot of meetings, and she has so many meetings, and she's meeting a lot of people, and she loves the people she's meeting, and she's also going to a lot of meetings. When is the movie coming? She keeps saying she has big news coming soon, but how? When? I'm really curious to see if it happens. When it happens. And I'll be first row in the cinema, like super fans. Like, I'll watch the screen like this. Yeah, I don't really know if it's happening. I can't imagine it is. Why would that get an adaptation out of everything there is? Out of all of that's the kind of the rationalization that I have. Out of all of the content that there is out there, why would Lightlark get an adaptation? Like, why would that actually follow through? But if it does, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited. She of course announced Stormside, the second book that is coming out this year. Also in November. Everything's coming out October, November. Nothing in December. Don't worry about December. It's only Santa Claus is coming. Of course I will be reading it. I talked about it in the review, and then after I was done filming and editing, she announced that the book was coming out, so I wasn't really in the mood to film an extra clip to be like, ha, I knew it! That's why I just put in the screenshot at the beginning of the video. In case you didn't see it, I put a little anecdote that she did announce it. She had like a members only Zoom call, VIP members only, from her fan club, where she read out the first chapter and announced it, and everyone was so excited. And you know, that's the right people to announce this to. I wonder how many people are in the fan club. That's something I'm very curious about. 5? But I'm generally like interested to know who's paying $8 a month for this. If I had known that she was doing like a Zoom meeting, and I don't know if the people that were in there could talk or had their cameras on, or if it was just Alex Aster, I would have maybe joined the fan club to be part of that Zoom call. I'm gonna be honest. So that would have been an incentive that I would have liked, actually. Then I would have taken like a picture of a screenshot of us together next to each other in the Zoom and made it my background everywhere. People on her Reddit, which is just the Lightlog Reddit, but it's for her in general, like an umbrella subreddit, they're really mad that she's publishing this book and that it's not the next Lightlog book. But I think she's just kind of trying to, you know, ride the wave of the Starside hype. People that haven't read Lightlog, I think, have been reading this and hyping it up. I mean, yeah. I've said everything about that book already. Just how similar it is to Lightlog. I was just thinking about this again. The fact that at the end of the book it gets revealed that if you love someone, you can lift up their sword and they can lift up yours, and otherwise they can't. It's only if you love someone. And then that is the same thing that's with Lightlog, with the power sharing. It's so crazy to me how she just like ripped herself off. I'm also curious to see if maybe Stormside connects to Lightlog. Imagine she goes ahead and does like a multiverse. And then you will find out the end of Lightlog because it's connected. After Sarah J. Maas went on Call Her Daddy, where she announced the Equator books and then said, yeah, it's like 2 books in 1 book, so it's gonna be really long. Alex Aster then decided to use like the almost exact same verbiage, either on TikTok or Instagram or wherever, and say that she's writing such a long book that it could almost be 2 books. And then everyone was like, you're in Sarah J. Maas's nachos right now, girl. Yeah. It's actually not that funny. You know, I get hyper fixated on things a lot. 5 Seconds of Summer is one of those. And I think my hyper fixation of the month at the moment is just Alex Aster and her career. I think it's interesting. And why is she always on Good Morning America? Who's watching that? I hope she gets on SNL next. Yeah. She posted on Instagram like, today, my eyes hurt, but I'm so happy. Take a break. I beg you, go on vacation. I beg you. What is all this money worth if you're not doing anything with it? You know, if she's really I don't know how much money she's making, but if she's making a lot of money from all of these things she's doing and she's not spending it on anything, and what is it worth? Nothing. Girl, get out. Go to the Bahamas. Like, take a break. I feel so bad for her. You guys think I'm hating on this poor lady? I'm not. I feel bad for her. Like, I genuinely think she's being chained somewhere. Get her out. I don't have anything else to say. What the fuck has been happening in the author world or the book world? Nothing. The Off-Campus series is coming out in a few days. Which, if I remember correctly, that was the book that I reviewed. That was a hockey romance and the girl got R-worded or couldn't have an orgasm or something like that, or maybe both. And then thought something was wrong with it, and she slept with the hot hockey man, and then she was fixed. I'm curious how they're going to put that in the show. They're not going to. I talked about everything I did, but I forgot to add what I'm going to do in the future. The future of this channel. I'm just kidding, but I'm going to be gone again for like 2.5 weeks. I'm going to Italy and I'm going to Albania like 2 days later. I just realized that when I was doing my bachelor's, I wasn't really doing anything, like traveling wise. It's also because I didn't have a job like I do now with the 20 hours a week that I work. Obviously, I make more money than if I was doing a mini job. So if I happen to disappear again, just know I'll return. But I can't promise you consistency. But I hope no one's expecting that. Make sure to let me know if there is anything you want me to talk about. Let me know if there's any topics you want me to discuss in coming podcast episodes. I just wanted to make a little bit of an update, of a life update for anyone who cares. And if there's any books you want me to read in particular. Thank you guys so much for coming to this little TED talk, to my little update. I hope you guys missed me just as much as I missed you. I did miss yapping and hating. I hate everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. I hope you stay happy, you stay healthy. Peace and love, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.